Woo-wee, 20 minutes might not be enough at the half right now.
Nope.
Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Bucs take a 21-6 lead. There is 6 seconds left to go, but we wanted to get on here because we have some interesting stuff to talk about. I thought the Chiefs would win. Kyle thought the Chiefs would win. Flash thought the Chiefs would win. We do have some other bets that are booing it right now, but what a half right now, Kyle. Let's start with you first.
Okay, and I'm trying to stay at least PG fucking 13, okay? But I want to talk about some things. First of all, the Bucs deserve to be in the lead, okay? I'm gonna preface this by that. Andy Reid has been a trash can of a coach. We just talked about this. Those timeouts he just called, a fucking joke. The offensive game plan, playing like a scared person, letting the other team's game plan dictate your game plan, scared, pathetic. Get your head out of your ass. I understand your son's an asshole and almost, might have, damaged a child. You're a bad person. His son's a bad person. You knew it when you hired him on your staff. But the officiating has been absolutely atrocious. I'm sorry, chicken shit call on Chris Jones on that personal foul on the third down. You just can't make that call. Both pass interference calls where they called holding. The ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Know the rules before you officiate a game. I'm pissed. I'm fired up. It's fun. I'm glad I'm with you boys to talk some sense into me. Let's rock and roll.
Here's what's awesome about this, because when you watch the game at a different level, again, my big bet is doing very good right now. But again, I still thought the game would go over. It's still on pace basically to do that. I think the Chiefs are going to be fine in the second half. They're still only down 2 touchdowns, even though it feels like the game is basically over. But let's talk about this, and let's talk about being a smart head football coach. In Philadelphia, we would get so angry over the first 15 years of Andy Reid's career because not of play calling, where he threw the ball all over the place. Okay, we can live with that. But always clock management. He never knew how to use his timeouts and always wasted time, and 2-minute drives were a sham. Let's take a look here, Flash. I'm going to start with you first. You score, you have a bad drive. You go downfield, you get the field goal. You're within a touchdown, right? First of all, they take it down to the 2-minute warning, which was absolutely correct. Tampa Bay wasted 2 timeouts, so they have 1 left. If you theoretically handed the football off twice, ran the clock down to 40 seconds, then tried to go for a touchdown, in all intents and purposes, you kick the field goal to make it 14-6. It's a 1-possession game. But they have 2 plays. Tyreek Hill runs out of bounds like an idiot on the first down play. The second down play gets 6 or 7 yards to Travis Kelce. The third down play is an incomplete pass. So there's a minute on the clock and 1 timeout. The kickoff happens. They get a decent return. But Tampa Bay almost did last year, Kyle, what we saw from San Francisco at the end of the half, saying, we're fine where we're at. Let's just not make a mistake. They do one of those plays where if we hand off here and pick up a first down, we'll go down the field and try to score. But if we hand the football off and don't get anything, we're going to take this to the half. The Chiefs called the timeout. We're watching it behind the set right now and getting the chuck on going, what are they doing? All right, at least Tampa Bay called the timeout. And I go, wait a second. Kansas City just called that timeout. So now you're saying that you're going to stop Tampa Bay. You're going to get the ball back on your own 25 with like 10 seconds to go and with no timeouts, and you're going to score a 7-point swing right there, Flash. Enormous mistake by Andy Reid.
Stupid.
Yeah, arrogance. The whole half just stunk of arrogance throughout the whole Chiefs setup. I mean, you got the flags, you got the ill discipline, you've got the... Listen, it looked very, very ropey, almost like we're Kansas City. It doesn't matter. We'll come back. But I'm telling you, they were lucky to be at 21-6. What about the goal line stop? There's points. They've shot themselves in the foot. They've put themselves right against the wall. Now, any other team, then you'd be writing them off. This has got a little bit of the Patriots versus the Seahawks about it. They've got to come out, listen, at points, second half. And definitely Chiefs points second half is definitely the way to go. A little bit of positivity. The national anthem went over 208, so you're happy with that. But honest to God, I'm looking at it, and I need the Chiefs to go up tempo. I need them to spread the field and play in between. We said that about the Bucs. They do defend and leave you down the middle with big holes. So go and exploit it. Listen, they get the ball back first of all. If they go for 2, we're looking at like 1-score game when really the Bucs should be home and hosed by now, Donnie.
Yeah. It's amazing because when you're watching the game play out, everything did go wrong for Kansas City. And not to say trust me, Tampa Bay is a really good football team. They're up 14. What did we say? All, last 2 weeks. Tampa Bay can't play from behind. Well, they're sitting exactly where they wanted to be and plus some at up 2 touchdowns basically at the half and where it stands. But there was a lot of plays there. Now, I did think it was holding on the call that they made on Mike Evans, which Honey Badger came up with the interception. But you're also talking about, let's say, the stupid things as well. The offsides call. You're kicking a field goal to go up 10-3, which again, still 1-possession game. You go offsides, which then in turn turns into a touchdown. Let's also look at the other minor things. You come up with a huge goal line stop. You get 1 first down for the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you're forced to punt the football. He drops it, kicks it, a great tackle. And like, hey, that's a huge win for Kansas City. You get the holding call, which was a holding call, and then the kid shanks one out of bounds to the 4. That's a 40-yard swing.
Johnny,
which
they're getting
ended up
emotionally involved. They're getting emotionally involved. The D of the Chiefs are getting emotionally involved in an arena and a situation where you cannot do that at the top level sport. I used to know, and loads of players will tell you this at any sport. If you get the other player on tilt, you have them to do as you please. Now, all of a sudden, we've got players running like 20, 30 yards to have a go at Brady. We have a 15-yarder when they would have been punting. It's like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and they need to collectively get together and make sure they come out and be professional. Because what I saw first half, they were not professional from every single part of that D, and the offense, they never got going either. I would be watching this game, just the way it plays out. It was really an under game, but now you look up with that last again, if you're an over backer, you're lucky you're in this position. If you're an under backer, when you get the goal line stops, you're like, holy cow, like the sun is shining down, long drives. And then that last 40 seconds where that extra 7 comes in, Kansas City is going to get the ball. Like Flash called it right there. Kansas City running the football second half? Nope. They're going to throw the ball 30 times, which again means they're either going to score or they're going to be 3 and out quick and giving the football back to Tampa Bay and going for it on 4th down. Oh, this could be a 60-plus game now. This could easily be a 60-plus game. I mean, listen, the Chiefs could easily score maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns themselves, but are they going to be able to stop? Something's got to happen on that D of the Chiefs now. Because what are you thinking? Even if you got 4 touchdowns, right, and they're all 7-pointers, that's 34 points. What are you going to hold? Are you going to hold Brady to 10 points second half? No, which is because when I looked at this game early on, and the one play I do have is the team total with the Bucs over. I was more confident. Even though I still 33-26. I mean, it's still going to, or 33-27. That's still going to get the over for both teams. Don't cancel out Kansas City, and that's not again because I thought they would win this game. I was in this same position last year. Flash was on live with me, 10-10. We're doing the Super Bowl, and I'm saying, boy, it's going to be an interesting second half. And by the end of the third quarter, I'm laughing on that. I was like, this is why we got rid of Andy Reid. Teams always choke. They can't play. Ooh, big bad Mahomes, 180 yards passing through 3.5 quarters, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. This is king, and it turns around in the snap of an eye. I mean, it can happen quick here, and it's all going to depend. The Chiefs get the ball the second half. 3-minute drive, 4-minute drive, Flash. They're in the end zone. It's a 1-possession game, and here we go again. Yeah, I've been in this situation, being a Patriots fan. We played a championship game or a playoff game against the Colts, and we were 21-0 up at halftime. Three plays later, we were behind to the Colts. It was unbelievable. They went touchdown, stop, touchdown, stop, and a recovery, touchdown. It was unbelievable, and that's how quickly we all know there's no team quicker in the NFL than the Chiefs. And the big thing is that if Hill keeps threatening and McColl keeps going deep, then there's going to be plenty gaps underneath, and they'll take their 30s and 40 yards. It's funny because I'm looking at this too. And again, I know the frustration.
Everyone knows how pissed I am. I love the chat box.
And you have a right to, which is great, which is why it's passion. It's real. We're gamblers. We have money on the game. But when you look at it, I was going to be on the same thing. It took me a while because, again, I like Kansas City all along. I like the under. Then I switch it to the over, which, again, seems to be on pace. But it came down to what I thought was going to be better because let me tell you something. If I went with, like I did in the AFC Championship game, I only play was the total over for Kansas City. Put out a play today, and I got a lot of DMs. Hey, going with that Kansas City team total. I said, actually, I'm not going with that. I'm actually flipping it over and going Tampa Bay. If I was on Kansas City, I would be 3 times. You know what? We might have canceled the halftime show if I was on the Kansas City team total right now, how furious I would be. But even me, you guys see me, I tweet out like to walk the dog. You kidding me? Sure. Like, Tampa Bay is so look at this. They're so cavalier on the goal line that they say, you know what? Let's get fancy and throw it to the fat guy who drops an easy touchdown pass. And it was like karma. They didn't score. And what's everybody thinking now? Here comes Kansas City. You even heard Jim Nantz say, there's never been a 99-yard drive in the Super Bowl, figuring they were just going to go right down the field, which, again, didn't happen. But Tom Brady seems to do this where you say, I bet against the guy. Everything is going his way. Did you see, every single call, every single penalty, you're watching a field goal go up. It's offsides. Oh, it just goes to happen, Kyle. It's 4th and 5, not 4th and 5.5, which they would have had to go for, but there's a chance to stop them. Everything's gone right for Tampa Bay. They deserve to be up 21-6 possibly even more. But having said that, it boils down to simple plays. We come on here, we preach, we talk, we're, like to get involved in what's going on in the game. If you're Andy Reid, how can you call a timeout with 40 seconds to go when Tampa Bay is saying, call off the dogs, let's go to the half, we're up 8, we love it, and you saw it switch right away. 2 plays, first down, deep shot, penalty, another penalty, touchdown, and you're saying, you should never be in the spot. There should have been a knee. Right after that play by Leonard Fournette, should have been no timeouts, and a knee by Tampa Bay, run into the locker room, it's 14-6, but Andy Reid cost himself a touchdown here.
Arrogance.
Yes, he did. Arrogance and stupidity. And that's one of the reasons Andy Reid's stupidity and arrogance is one of the reasons why Terrell Owens is loved in Philadelphia and Donovan McNabb is not. Andy Reid never put his quarterback in a position to win because he's a fucking moron. And, he's got, we talked about this before the show. Oh, I thought it would be a distraction for Kansas City with his son going through all this. And you told me, Andy Reid does this all the time. He's such a shitty parent in person and coach that he's used to dealing with this because he doesn't know how to get anything. Like, why in the world would you call those timeouts? Like, your offensive game plan has been skittish and scared. You've barely seen them go downfield. They didn't have the right blocking scheme when they had the wide open play to Mecole Hardman, who would have scored, a 60-yard touchdown on that play. Mecole Hardman was wide open. They didn't have the right blocking scheme called because Andy Reid can't get his shit together. Andy Reid is an idiot. Now, he has the most talented quarterback to ever play the position. They do get the ball first in the second half. I do expect them to score. And you're right. Yes. Do I think the officials have really benefited Tampa Bay? Yes, I do. Do I think it was on purpose? No, of course not. I'm not a mouth breather. This is not a conspiracy. But, good Lord, people. But, yes, the calls have gone Tampa Bay's way. And there was some genius here in the chat talking about, Kyle doesn't understand the rules. When a ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, pass interference cannot occur anymore. That's a rule. What they did to circumvent that rule is they called holding. Now, maybe one of them.
See, I disagree
with Donnie a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I disagree with Donnie a little bit on the second one. I think the ball was tipped first, then it was holding on Mike Evans, but normally they would just call that pass interference. They didn't. They've done it twice now on third down. Those plays really changed the game, and that third down call on Chris Jones, don't be surprised if you see some makeup calls for the Chiefs in the second half because it did feel slanted in Tampa Bay's direction. Again, it's not on purpose. Don't be a mouth breather. Don't be a weirdo. They're not trying to give. In fact, we've interviewed Dave Mason how many times the last couple of weeks. We all know Las Vegas, the sports books, there's a ton of liability if the Buccaneers win. So Vegas is not predicting this game right now. I can tell you that.
Donnie, what number have we got on the Chiefs? The total, the team totals. What have we got?
I got right now live lines here. The Chiefs are sitting at a live line of 7.5 and an over under. It looks over under is 55.5. So basically no movement there. But you're getting the Chiefs down 2 touchdowns, but 15 points at 7.5. You know they're going to have to go for 2. And they're getting the football, so you get the extra one. But getting back to the point that Kyle's talking about, we talked about this pregame show. What refs are we going to get in the Super Bowl? Were we going to get the regular season refs, or are we getting the playoff refs? We're getting regular season because right off the bat, the first Mike Evans call, which was a penalty, wasn't called in the playoffs. Wild card round, divisional round, or championship round. Now it's called in the Super Bowl. Usually they let them play out. Now they're not. And also, I benefited from because, again, I'm rooting for points from Tampa Bay. I'm still obviously wanting Kansas City to win this game because that's who I thought was going to win it. But having said that, the personal foul on Chris Jones was ridiculous. Like, this is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a ref, you say, look, boys, We ain't dealing with this today. I'll let you go here. I know you're getting mad. Don't get heated. Calm down and back off. That's not the one you throw the flag on. Now, if he calls off and punches the guy or he does something ridiculous, that's fine. It's the Super Bowl. A ref stepping, hey, boys, come on. We know you're mad at each other. It's physical, tough, high-stress situation. Let's keep it moving. Don't make me call this. Instead of, I'm going to call this so you don't do it again. That was a ridiculous call because that goes from the 35-yard and third down to first down at the 50 and off go the Buccaneers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly right. Of all the calls, I think that was the most chicken shit of all of them because you saw the two linemen pushing each other, and these guys do that. They're big boys. They're going after the quarterback. Like, there was nothing grotesque there. There was absolutely no reason to call.
No, that set the tone. That set the tone then for the other zebras to get involved. And they've been too flag happy. But don't get me wrong, I agree with Donnie. I think, yes, it was a hold before the tip. I mean, he just wouldn't let him go. But it's been on both sides, and yet I haven't seen any flags on the Bucs.
On Tampa Bay? No, they lined up two times in a row off sides, and they didn't call it. They didn't.
No, if you're Andy Reid now, you tell McCole Hardman and you tell Tyreek Hill to bomb a 45-yard dash, and you make sure that you throw it. Make sure none of them can get it, and you come back. You come back and you instigate pass interference on the D, and let's see if they call it.
Yeah, they're going to be much more up-tempo. They're still explosive. But when you take a look at the plays that we saw the Chiefs make, how about what a great play by whoever on defense for Tampa Bay. The ball hit Tyreek in the head. I mean, a Patrick Mahomes normal play, jukes out two blitzing cornerbacks off the edge, steps up in the pocket, throws sidearm, 60 yards downfield, hits Tyreek Hill in the head. He makes that play and falls into the end zone. You're looking at a different game. And let's not forget the first drive of the game. Patrick Mahomes lets the ball go a little bit too soon. That's usually a touchdown to start the game, and here go the Chiefs down the field. It takes all sides here for things to go wrong. You're not getting the plays from the referees. Now, you're making some stupid plays, but again, we talk about like the last pass interference, right, where Bashar Breeland basically tackles Mike Evans. He got beat so bad he made such a stupid play on a terrible pass from Tom Brady that it had to get called out. But I keep digressing back to that play should have never happened because it already should be in the locker room. Flash, we're taking a look at the second half here. Chiefs are getting the ball. Again, just because I have the Chiefs first half doesn't mean I'm saying, well, I love the Chiefs second half. But when I see 7.5, I don't think this is going to be a runaway from Tampa Bay. Kansas City
no, you've got to take the 7.5.
Offense.
No, you've got to take the 7.5. Hey, listen, now you could potentially have Buccaneers backers having the Bucs at +3, and you've got the Chiefs at +7.5. I don't think that this gets any bigger now than +7.5. So if you're a Chiefs backer, you get on the +7.5. I mean, the points are going to be what have we got? 21, 27. What are we looking at? 29, 28.5.
Yeah.
This goes over 28.5 points second half. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs put up 28 on their own.
Yeah. Because you're going to get that you're going to get late score. What I mean by that is the final 4 minutes. They might just go back and forth because if it's a double-digit game, let's say Tampa Bay still up 10 points with 4 minutes to go. The Chiefs are scoring. The Chiefs are going onside. Tampa Bay could probably score and Kansas City come back over the top. I would doubt to see – put it this way. If you're looking at this game, Flash, 6 points for Kansas City. There's no way they stay under 20 points. They're not scoring 17 points here. They're getting over 20
points. They get 4 touchdowns for me.
They're going over, but I would keep an eye on this. You do not want to be the Chiefs down by 10 late in this third quarter. They need to score on this first drive because the Chiefs can't stop the run. They're a soft team.
Hang on. No.
They have a soft coach who is making buku mistakes throughout the...
Yeah, but look at last year. The
Chiefs
49ers D, it was in a different league, a different parish to this Bucs D.
Yes, but their offense was not. We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, who's a very limited quarterback with only basically Deebo Samuel, which is this way different than what you're dealing with in Tampa Bay. Brady has 5 legitimate weapons he can throw the football to. This Tampa Bay offense, much, much better than the 49ers offense last year.
Do you think this goes over 55.5?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Yes, it's going over 50.5.
Exactly. Do you think? Are you happy to be taking 7.5 about the Chiefs now?
Yes, 100%. I just put a bet on it while we were doing the show. +7.5 is too many points. I still expect the Chiefs to win, but I will say this first possession of the second half is going to be very, very important for the Chiefs.
It's the opposite to the first half. It's a tone setter.
It's a tone setter, and they can't stop the run. You saw it when the Buccaneers wanted to run the ball 3 straight plays. What happened? First down, Leonard Fournette.
Let me tell you what I spotted. I spotted first half that when they had the goal line stop, all of a sudden the secondary of the Bucs shit themselves and dropped an extra 10 and 15 yards rather than going up. I think they said it in commentary as well. Why are you not going up and making them pressuring them? And no, we mustn't be beat over the top. And as soon as that happens, you're like, take a foot. You cannot take a backward step in an elite game like this. And
here's the issue I have in this game too.
And they will do it.
When I'm looking at winning the game for Kansas City, I don't know, Flash. Because I don't know if they can get enough stops at this point, though. Like Tampa Bay has done whatever they wanted to on offense.
Yeah, and that's a concern.
They would have done. No, but hang on a minute. They would have had the stops. They would have had to stop the first stop when they had the 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. They would have had to stop because they would have had a 3-point field goal if they weren't offside, and then that turns into a touchdown. They would have had the stops because they wouldn't have got anywhere near Mike Evans on the post out down the left.
How many first downs have the officials given the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on third down?
Exactly.
3. Yeah, but they've deserved it, though.
If they don't get that, and by the way, it wouldn't be a halftime show if we didn't address if we didn't have some fun with the chat box here. So this overtime, guys, you're an idiot. Just get the hell out of here. Like, you are the dumbest fucking idiot in our chat box the entire season. I'm telling you that. And I love you. Thank you for watching the show. But you are dumb. If you think the Tampa Bay defense this year is the equivalent to the San Francisco defense last year, hit me up on Twitter. I'm going to sell you those magic beans because you're a fucking idiot. Exactly. I mean,
if they end up with 13 points, that's a good job. But we still got a whole half to go, and we saw the same exact thing. There was 10 points. San Francisco gave up 10 points with 6 minutes to go and 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It was 10 points. So we'll see how it gets out, but it'll be interesting to see how it starts out.
It's all Chiefs. Team total Chiefs. What's the team total for Chiefs?
23.5 for the game.
That's over. So it's over. It's 7.5 over.
Yeah.
I mean, you take the 7.5, you go over 23, and you go over the 55. And
but Andy Reid needs to get his shit together, and they need to stop calling scared. And Donnie was bagging on Eric Bieniemy a little bit, like, go take a job where you're the real coordinator, and you'll get the job. We'll tell you what, it's time for him to earn it because that play calling in the first half was absolutely fucking dreadful. That was pathetic play calling. It was scared. It was playing into the strengths of the other team. It was letting them dictate what you do. Go out there, establish yourself, be a fucking man.
95 yards in penalties, by the way, for the Chiefs' first half.
Oh, yeah, it's pathetic. But it was the timing of them. They weren't on first downs, were they? They were they didn't happen.
Every time.
They've come out with 10 points. This could be 11. Listen, it's been a garbage. For anything you coming from a Chiefs point of view, it's been garbage. And I tell you what, the Bucs could have more points and could be sitting at maybe 28-6. But listen, the good thing is there's no post show that we're going to do. So
tomorrow we are. We're going to have one on SBR tomorrow, right, Donnie?
Yeah, you are. No, I'm not.
Yeah, Monday.
I'll see you in August.
Little wrap up.
No, I'm going to see you much before. If I don't see you till August, Flash, I'm going to be pretty pissed off because I need you in my life, brother. I love you. You know that. Oh, fucking.
And anybody watching the weekend right now? You watching the Weekend Dancer? Looks like the guys from Us are out there with him.
Yeah. He fucking dances worse than I do. Fuck all them. I'm pissed at the officials. It's time for the second half. I want the Chiefs to man up and no more bullshit with these officials. Get the officials out of here. None of this nonsense.
Yeah, I want Brady to feel exactly.
I like the 7.5. I like the 7.5.
Me too. I like it a lot. I think the 7.5
as well.
Actually, and I think the team total for the Chiefs in the second half hits as well. 7.5 is way too many points.
I actually like that better, Flash. The over 55 than the Chiefs getting 7.5 Bucs aren't stopped.
The over 23.5 though, surely.
Yeah, you know what? I like 55.5 better.
We could be sitting here easily with a 28-27 or a 27-24 game with the Chiefs being up 3 going into the fourth quarter.
Anything surprise you guys on the prop bet so far? I've been doing pretty good on them so far. Mahomes' first rush came in. Tyreek Hill over a half rush. The plays I gave out on the show, I haven't had a loser yet on those. And still a couple of them coming in.
I mean,
not as many completions as I wanted for Mahomes, but Gronk hit that prop. We got they went to Mecole Hardman early. They just couldn't get him the ball. Mahomes made a couple of bad throws on those plays, but so far so good. Ronald Jones looks good. Fournette looks good.
Evans is
props all
over
hitting there.
my yardage.
Big ones for me are going to come up as Mahomes' third quarter touchdown that I gave out. They'll get the ball first. They're going to be pressing like hell, which is great. And then I have Brady fourth quarter touchdown pass. So they're the next two on deck for me. Hopefully,
Didn't you say that the highest scoring quarter would be the third one on our show the other day?
No, that was third quarter touchdown Mahomes for me. Like he can run it.
Kyle, did you not say that the highest scoring quarter was going to be the third one?
It will be the third quarter. This is when the teams are going to make the adjustments, and it's probably going to work out for us because the Chiefs need the points, so they'll get the points, and they get the ball first.
Yeah, nice little 21-3, 27-20.
I do think the Chiefs score a couple touchdowns here, and the fourth quarter is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad we got to come vent here. I'm glad we got to come. I'm glad we got to vent here. I appreciate you guys, by the way, listen to me vent a little bit about officials and all that stuff. An absolute ton of fun. I know it's not everyone's popular opinion, but we're here to have some fun as well. And no, I'm not having
no fun at the moment.
And I got the Bucks over 87.5 rushing yards, which they already had 60 in the first. 60 in the first half. So with the lead, this need 27.5, and that's another show play I gave out. So sitting in a good spot on this one. Tyreek Hill actually already got that rush, which is really expensive at minus 175, but his rush already goes. He didn't even get any yards, lost yards, but that wasn't even the play. It was just over a half of a rush. Some interesting ones still left on the board, which is fun to watch.
Before we get it here, our boy Overtime in the chat. Yes, you're a fucking idiot, but yes, I want you to keep watching the show. We love you, so thanks for watching the show. But you're a dumbass. Let's rock and roll.
Hit the thumb up. Yeah.
Yeah, hit the thumb up.
Come on, Donnie. Crank this bastard up.
Yep, good stuff, boys. Happy to talk at halftime. I'm going to go over 55 as my play for the second half. I do like the 7.5 that the Chiefs are getting, but I think there's going to. I'm more confident that there will be points in the second half. Kyle, where are you going with the second half here?
I'm going to say Chiefs 7.5 because I think the Chiefs will still win by more than 3 points. I think you see the fun in the second half, and that's what I'm rooting for. So I'm not going to stop. And thank you, by the way. Overtime one more time, you idiot.
Over 23. Over 23.5. Chiefs.
Team total for the Chiefs. All right, boys. Let's wrap it up here. Good half, fun stuff, and we'll see if we can continue to win some money or hopefully the Chiefs get a comeback, but I'm looking for points. Flash is looking for points. We're all looking for points in the second half. Thanks for tuning into the halftime show. Super Bowl 55, sportsbookreview.com. Me and Kyle will be back tomorrow, Monday, to wrap everything up. We'll see if he still has the same venom, or will he be on cloud nine with a massive comeback for the Chiefs. I'm Donnie Seymour. He's Kyle Purviance, Flash Watson. Thank you for joining us at halftime. Enjoy the second half, and good luck with your wagers.